Good morning, students. Today we'll be discussing the essay or composition and informal letters in your class. I hope you have understood the homework which was given in the previous class. Okay, so let's go back to our language paper. Let's begin with the composition. As you can see, there are different types of essay. 4 different types of essay. The first one is narrative, descriptive, imaginative, or argumentative. Now, a brief description about the essays. Narrative would means narrating like a story, like describing a visit. If you have visited a fair, you visited a friend or whatever, and then you are asked to write something about it, then it comes in the category of narrative essays. The second one is descriptive. Now, in descriptive essay, you describe about some personality or a thing. For example, your favorite movie character or your favorite cartoon character, something like that. Then it comes in the category of descriptive topic. Third one, like you can see, it's imaginative. You should put yourself in someone else's shoe and then you have to write about it. Let's say you have to imagine yourself as a bird or maybe the President of India or the Prime Minister of India, and then you have to write about it. It will begin something like, if I were the Prime Minister of India, then so on and so forth. Then the fourth one is argumentative topic. A type where you actually argue about a topic, like plastic is good or harmful. This is one topic. You have to write both the sides of in favor of and against it also. Now, students, when you write about the essay, there are certain things which you need to keep in mind. We'll go one by one. We'll be discussing the narrative, descriptive, imaginative, and argumentative all separately. But over here, one thing I would like to mention is, in case of argumentative topic, this is considered as the most difficult one. Difficult one, I'm not saying that you should not attempt argumentative topic, but I just want to tell you that it is pretty difficult. See, because you have to have a very convincing thing in you, only then you should attempt argumentative topic. You have to have a very good vocabulary, good command on your words. Unless very good in arguments, then please do not attempt this topic. Because you need to have sufficient number of points both for and against the topic. Only then you should attempt the argumentative topic. Though we'll be doing this topic also later on. We'll be taking example of an argumentative topic, and then it is going to be clearer then. But otherwise, out of the 4, this becomes slightly difficult. Now, imaginative, yes, you have to imagine certain thing. If you have a vivid picture in your mind, you have to, if you can really imagine about anything. Let's say if the topic is, if I were a bird, and your imagination is really wide, then in that case, you can attempt this topic. Otherwise, narrative and descriptive is comparatively, not very easy, but comparatively easy than the other 2. Okay, so today we'll be doing narrative topic. Now, what exactly is narrative topic? A narrative essay will be built around a narration of a certain event or a situation. Okay, it's a short form of a narrative novel, you can say, and its main objective is to tell a story that is both engaging and interesting to the reader. It is actually a description of what happens, how it happens, what all happened, etc. You just have to narrate the entire story. You have to narrate it in your own, in first person. Like you have been through an experience and then you are describing the experience. You are narrating the experience to the others in that manner. So over here we will, okay, before I proceed. Now, like you can see, your essay should have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Introduction over here means, students, it should be catchy. That means should hold the attention of the reader, bind the reader with the content. You should begin in a way that it is very catchy, and whoever is reading your essay is actually tied to your essay. It doesn't want to leave the essay in between. He just has to complete it till the end. So it should be very catchy. Then the second part is the body. discuss the detail about the one you are writing. Everything, whatever has happened, you have to discuss it in detail. The experiences, how you went through that experience, and what all happened during that experience. Everything, all the details will have to be given in the body. The third part will be the conclusion. What is the outcome of the whole experience? Was it a good experience? Was it a bad experience? Do you want to experience it again? Maybe a moral teaching which has come out from that experience, something like that. So that becomes the conclusive part. Okay. Now over here I'll give you an example of an essay. Let's say where some idiomatic expression is used, how to incorporate it in your essay and how to proceed with the composition and how to use verbal stimulus. When we are going to give you a question, there will be a verbal stimulus and there will be some idiomatic expression which you need to incorporate in your essay. Suppose we take an example. You have gone on an adventure trip of mountain climbing, but to your disappointment it has started raining cats and dogs. That means raining heavily. However, you were on cloud 9, which is a state of great happiness, like the meaning suggests, after the rain stopped. Now write about your experience, how you felt, what you saw and did. Okay, so first part of the question is, you have gone on an adventure trip of mountain climbing. This becomes your verbal stimulus. Now you know what you have to begin with. You have to say about your trip, where you went for a trip and what you planned to go, how you plan to go for a trip. The first part, the introductory part, is you have gone on an adventure trip. So this is your verbal stimulus. And like I have underlined, cats and dogs or cloud 9, these are the idiomatic expressions that you need to use. So in this verbal stimulus, the idiomatic expression is also given to you. You need to incorporate it in your essay. Likewise, you will continue. Now, I have underlined a few good words which can be incorporated in your essay as well. Whenever you write, you should, it's not that students you need to have too many phrases or too many idiomatic expression, not like that. It should not be that your essay is very flowery. It should be in simple language, but few can always be incorporated to make it better. Now you just go through this like you have climbed a mountain or a hill. You know how exciting it is to read the top, especially for the first time. This is the beginning. You just go through it. There are a few words like venturing and subtly or drizzling, few words which I have underlined. Now these are few good words, good vocabulary which can be used, or you can say certain phrases which can be used to make your essay better and better. Okay? Now, yeah, like if we come to an end, see, after that experience I have climbed 2-3 times and scaled higher altitudes. But the thrill and excitement of my first adventure is far more than an experience. These are the concluding lines. The concluding lines over here suggest that the experience has been very good. And in fact, after that first experience, I did try doing the same thing again and again. But my first experience was nonetheless very beautiful. So when you conclude, it has to be in relation with what you have written before. It should not come to an abrupt end. It should have a smooth end. That's how you end. Okay, this was for your composition. Now we'll move on to an informal letter as well. Just hold on for a second. Hold on for a second, student. There was some issue with this, that is why. For the informal essay, you just need to follow a format right now. Okay? We'll be doing this writing informal essay. If you are writing someone you know very well, the letter should be informal. Very obvious. Suppose you're writing to any friend of yours or your uncle or your aunt, your mom and dad, relatives, then in that case it becomes an informal letter. You do not have to follow a set pattern. It's a kind of letter that we write generally, like it is mentioned over here. You write it either to your parents, relatives, or friends. It becomes an informal letter. Even though it is informal, but there is a pattern that we need to follow. Like you see over here, on the left hand side at the top, you are going to write the sender's address. That means your own address. Then the date, salutation. Then comes the body of the letter, and then the subscription. That's how you end. Okay. One thing which is very, very careful, you should be very careful, is you have to take care of punctuation marks while writing the format. Where you have to use a comma or a full stop or a colon or a semicolon, you need to be very careful, because all this is either going to fetch you more marks or it might deduct marks from your essay, from your letter. Okay, now we begin. Let's see the first thing, your address. Suppose it is mentioned over here, 62 Diamond Apartment, Rajiv Nagar. Student, you need to copy it down in your fair note copy, and then you can go back to it again and again whenever you have to write a formal or an informal letter. So the PPT over here, please note it down in your fair copy. Okay, on the top left hand side you have the address, then you have the date. Be careful when you write the date. Let's say if it is 28th March, it will be 28. TH will not be on top, like 28th and then TH on top. It's going to be on the same line. 28th March, comma, 2020, full stop. Notice that there is a comma over here, full stop over here, then again a full stop. Dear Mitali, the salutation when you begin. Dear Mitali or any friend of yours, dear such and such, and a comma. Okay, then you leave a line, and then you start with the body of the letter. And then again when you end the salutation, one second. The salutation will be Dear Mitali, and then finally the subscription will be how you end it. Yours lovingly, comma, Reema Rai. You have to be very careful with the punctuation marks. Student, if you miss out the punctuation mark, you miss out 0.25 marks. So with every punctuation, missing of punctuation, you lose mark. 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. Now let's talk about the body of the letter. Body of the letter, the opening sentence set the tone of the letter. Suppose it's a informal one, so something like, hope this letter finds you in the best of health, in good spirit, or thank you very much for the sweets that you had sent. I'm so sorry to hear that. Likewise, this is kind of the sample sentences which you can start with. Then the subject matter. Like any other subject composition, you need to give the subject matter, the main, you can say the details of your letter. Okay. Then comes the concluding sentence. This gently sums up the subject matter. You should not abrupt it. You should not bring it to an abrupt end. Whether in composition or in the letter, it should come to a smooth end. Like when you end your letter, you can always say, kindly give my regards to uncle and auntie. Aunt, or I'm looking forward to meeting you, wishing you a speedy recovery. If you're writing a letter which is related to, let's say, the person having fallen sick, something like that, or looking forward to hearing from you, etc. So this comes to the end of the letter. Now there is a sample letter which is being given. You need to copy it down in your fair note copy, okay, and go through it again and again, students, so that you have a clear idea as to how the letter is written. Like you see, the address, the date, salutation, the body of the letter, and the end. Yours lovingly, Sanjeev. This is a letter to a mother written by his son. The son has not fared well in his exams, not scored good marks, and therefore the letter has been written. So you just go through the letter, it's very simple, and then see, like yours lovingly, when you end the letter, student, it should be very clear. Yours lovingly, there's a comma after that, and then the name and a full stop. Okay, so this will be for today. If you have any problem, any confusion, you can always let me know. Thank you.